Hi guys, Fagun from Integration Lab, and now we are going to see how we can troubleshoot the webhook, and we are going to see some testing which makes the process faster in case you just want to set up a dummy workflow and test out if these things are going to work or not. Okay, so what happens is whenever someone asks for us some kind of workflow, I want to set up the workflow immediately and want to check if this possibility is going to work or not, right? So in that case what I do is, let me go to dashboard first of all, and let me create a new workflow, test, right? And we are going to select a generic webhook as a trigger, but again this video is true for all kind of application which uses webhook as a trigger, right? So we are just going to copy the webhook. Now the easiest way to trigger a webhook is to just open a new tab, hit Ctrl V, add a question mark and type, let's suppose we want to send some test data, right? So let's say name is equal to Fagun, right? We also want to send message there, hi, how are you, right? Sorry, how are you, hit enter. You can see that it will give you response something like status success, message, response accepted, right? So you can see the webhook response captured in here. So this was the fastest way to check the webhook if publish is capturing the data or not correctly, right? So what happens that sometimes you never sure that if publish is not working or the other application is not sending data correctly. I have never ever find out that publish is not accepting data of webhook correctly. Okay, so publish webhook has never failed me till now. Okay, so most of the time, not most of the time, till now 100% issues were in the trigger application, right? So just to ask their support, the trigger application support, that or show them what is the issue, what you can do here is that you can record a video which do the exactly same thing like this and show them that yeah, public connect is still capturing the webhook, right? You can also do something called webhook.site. So whenever you like open this site, webhook.site, just type this much and it will give you a unique temporary webhook URL. You can click on copy to clipboard. Let's suppose we want to test it out in Elementor, right? So we will go to webhook, we will replace the public connect webhook with webhook.site webhook. Okay, there is too many webhooks. Okay, so we are still waiting for update. Okay, page is auto refresh. We are going to enter a dummy data one more time. Okay, hit send, and if we now go to webhook.site, you can see that the data was captured in here, which means the application is sending data correctly. In case you don't capture the response in webhook.site as well and not capture in public connect as well, then you are 100% sure that issue is from the trigger application side and not from public connect or webhook.site, right? And it happens sometimes that some WordPress website just don't fire the webhooks. Okay, so those kind of technical difficulties are going to rise, and at that time this is the easiest way to identify the root cause of which application is causing the issue, right? So this is the way basically you can test out the webhook, right? And then you can do the mapping. Okay, so I also use this a lot. For example, if someone asks me to check the possibility of adding delay and sending message, then I will just capture the data like this with mobile number and set up the workflow and show them in a video recording that yeah, it is possible, 100% possible, right? So yeah, this was just a quick video just to show you how you can just troubleshoot the webhooks, right? Also, I want to show you the history part. So for example, we just submitted this data, right? So I am just going to change the name to, instead of Fagun, change it to John, and let's refresh the history. Okay, so you can see that here when I click on history from the workflow page, it automatically applied the filter. What filter did it apply exactly? It applied the filter of workflow name. Okay, so if you are coming from workflow page to history, then it will automatically show you only the history for that particular workflow, right? Now you can filter them by status or the data or task history ID. All these options are, I think so, self-explanatory, right? And yeah, you can basically, for example, we want to search the data where it is John, right? So yeah, there is only one data, but let's suppose we add one more data, Joe. Okay, and we hit refresh for this, hit filter. Okay, so now it is only showing one data because John was set up in the filter, but if we remove the filter, you can see the both data, right? Now let's understand some of the basics of history part. Okay, so you can see the filter, I have already shown you that, right? This is the date and time it was executed, the last step was executed actually. Okay, now you can see the applications here, workflow name here. You can see how many steps are in the workflow and how many of them were free task. Okay, that's also there. You can see the status here, success, partial failed, or failed. Okay, so those are the things. You can also change the number of results per page from here, which is very helpful in my opinion. Now the main part, which is the like core of the history part. Okay, so this is called something called task history ID. When you click on that, it will open something like this, the pop-up. Okay, and you can see this long ID. Whenever you contact public support team, you make sure you give them task history ID if you are getting a failed task, right? That will help them a lot. Also, you can see the date and time when it was executed, right? You can also re-execute. Now the good feature is that when you re-execute it, you can change the message. So let's change to Himish, right? And sorry, Joe 123. Okay, see, now you see this refresh icon in the original task and this copy icon in the re-executed task. Okay, and now we see Joe 123, how are you? You can change the format to look like this or change the format to look like this, right? Now you are also seeing that it consumes 0 task, right? Because there is no paid task step in here. For example, if we go here in the dashboard, and I am showing you how tasks are counted as well, right? So if we go to this Elementor one, we click on history. If we see here that it is a 3-step workflow and only 2 of the steps were free tasks, but 1 was a paid task. Okay, so 1 task was consumed and 2 free tasks were consumed. If you click on the task history ID, you can see the total task consumed by a single execution right here. Consume 1 task, 2 of them were free. So it is a huge benefit of using Public Connect that triggers are free and 95% of internal tasks are free as well as of now. Okay, so this is a free task. You can see this is a free task as well, but there is no free task badge for Google Sheet because it is sending data outside of Public Connect. So it is not a free task and it consumes 1 task. Okay, so this is a huge advantage of using Public Connect. I hope now history part is very clear for you, right? And you also can check data in and out for the actions. So you can see like what data came into this particular step, right? And what data was given as a response after this step was executed, right? So for example, we see the same thing for Google Sheet. You can see that in the data in, we should be able to see the mapped values here, right? And in the data out, we will be able to see the response received. Okay, so I hope it is much more clear for you now that how it exactly works and how data in and data out works. It will be very easy for you. For example, you are facing a problem that some of the values are not coming into Google Sheet. You can just go to history, filter by that particular email address, and you can see that if those values were available in data in that particular step or not. Okay, if not, then you need to check the above steps. Okay, that if data was available executed or extracted properly from those steps or not, right? So this is how you troubleshoot it via checking data in and data out steps, right? You can see the task history here, re-execute here, task history ID here, and date and time here. right? Also you can bulk re-execute as well actually, right? But keep in the mind, public connect re-execute the whole workflow, not only the failed step. Okay, so always keep that in mind whenever you are planning to re-execute it, that a whole workflow is going to be re-executed. So if there are 10 steps, all 10 steps are going to re-executed, not only one of those failed steps. Okay, so always keep that in mind before re-executing, right? Okay, see you in the next video with more in-depth tutorial. Till then, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you.